When you first start trading in Forex, picking a broker is one of the first steps that you're going to have to take. And it can be a little daunting to figure out if a broker is reliable or not. So in this video, I'll give you a simple 3-step process that you can take to test out a broker for the first time. All right, so in order to trade Forex, you're going to have to find a broker. And before I get into the steps on how to test a broker, it's important to distinguish exchanges and brokers. So in the cryptocurrency world, there are exchanges where you can trade cryptocurrency, but you can also trade tokens that represent Forex pairs. You can have tokens that represent stocks, futures, etc. So just make sure that you understand the difference. A broker is something totally different. It's a company that takes your money and then puts it into their account, and you can trade that account through their liquidity providers, either the stock market or the futures, options, whatever it is. So it's a slightly different animal from an exchange. And I'll talk about exchanges more in future videos, but remember that there's a distinction between the two. So what I'm going to talk about here is just testing out a Forex broker. So before you send money to a Forex broker, it's super important to do your homework on them. Do your due diligence, find out if they're legitimate or not, if they have any issues with them, and just do that homework, because I've seen so many stories of people sending, tens of thousands of dollars to a so-called broker that, that was just a total scam. So be sure to do your homework on the broker, make sure that they're legitimate, make sure that they're regulated in your country, or at least in a country that has strong laws. And that way you can be reasonably sure that it's a legitimate broker. So I'll do another video on how to actually do that process. But once you've gone through that process, you've researched a bunch of brokers, and you've picked that one broker that you want to work with, this is what you do to test them out. The first step is to send a small deposit. So it's good if your broker has a small minimum deposit, maybe like $1,000 or $100 or whatever it is. So send a small deposit. Don't send anything huge in the beginning, because if the broker is not legitimate, or there are certain fine print that you didn't read, then it's going to be hard to get your money back out, right? So send the minimum, just send a small test amount. Step 2 is to go in there and actually execute some trades. So when you do that, you'll be able to see what their spreads are really like, if there's a lot of slippage, and just general execution things that you wouldn't be able to see without having an account. Now, in the research process that I'm going to show you in another video, one of the steps is to open a demo account. So hopefully you've done that, and you've already gotten a feel for the platform and execution speeds and all that stuff. But there can be certain things in a live account that don't show up in a demo account. So that's important to take a look at. One thing to look for in a live account are things like inactivity fees. Some brokers will charge a fee if you don't trade that month. And I don't think that's right, but they're free to do whatever they want. So take a look for that kind of thing. And just look for other fees that might not be what you expected when you got into the broker. Then test out their customer service, see if they're responsive and they can help you. Sometimes customer service is really good when you're not a customer yet, but then when you become a customer, they figure they have you and it's not as good anymore. So make sure to check that out. All right, now you have deposited a small amount of money, you've executed a few trades. Now it's time to get that money out. So take out some money, withdraw it, see what the process is like, see how long it takes, see how responsive they are. And that can be a good indicator of if this is a good broker to work with or not. Once you've done these steps and everything looks good, then you probably have a good broker. But remember that things can change, management can change, key leaders in the company can change. So all of these things could change at a future point in time. So just keep an eye out for any issues that you might see. But if you do these 3 steps at the beginning, it'll give you a better picture of if the broker is reliable or it's pretty shaky. If you found that useful, please share this video with anyone who you think would benefit from this information. Hit the subscribe button and the bell to get updated on future videos, and check out these videos that are coming up next.